Hello there, it is Emily with esquared Photography. Erin is missing today because she is super busy with her full-time job, but that is okay. We will get the job done and we will get things covered. So again, we are here to keep things simple and fun and make it as enjoyable as possible to learn about photography. Today we are going over something we get asked about a lot. How do I pose families with older children? We talk a lot about little ones because those are the challenging ones, but how do we pose older children within the family? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Also, make sure to watch all the way until the end because we have a special download just for you. So we promise that today you will leave with some good tips on how to pose families with older children and how to really simplify it so it's not so overwhelming. And remember, for the best photography tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for notifications of future videos. Before we dive into the posing, let's talk about the ideal time of day to be shooting these types of families. They are older kids, they can stay up later, which is great. So we typically are shooting these families 1 to 2 hours before sunset so we can get that nice soft light. Now let's talk about the length of these sessions. Because we have older kids, because they cooperate really well, we can really get these sessions done within 15-20 minutes, no problem. So we will not book a family that is just one family, one immediate family with older children. We will not book their session over 30 minutes for sure, unless they have ideas that they want to change outfits, they want to do a variety of locations, things like that. But typically it's just a 15 to 30 minute session with families like this size. Okay, so let's dive into posing and kind of the flow we would go through, the types of poses we would do with families with older children. So this first pose that you can see here, we always like to start with this. We put mom and dad in the middle, and then we place the older kids around them. They're all in a nice straight line, but we put mom and dad in the middle always. Now on to our standing variation number 2. You can see now we put the kids in the middle and we're putting mom and dad on the outside just to vary it up, just to give them a little different variety in their gallery. Now, one thing that I want to point out is you can see that they look like they like each other. Mom is holding on to her son's arm, and the older sister is putting her shoulder on her little sister. So always making sure that everybody is touching somebody or something just to make it look like they like each other, like they're a family. It's going to make it look that much better. Now this third standing variation, once we have this family in a pose, we just tell them to get in really, really tight, cheek to cheek, get in as close as they can. Sometimes we'll say, now let's do a huge hug right where you're standing, wrap your arms around each other. But again, you can see that the mom and daughter are holding hands and one of the sisters and the little sister are holding hands just to make them look a little bit better. So nice and close cheek to cheek, this can always create a really, really cute picture. Now, after we've done these more traditional standing poses, one thing you can also do with these standing poses is that you can have them look at each other and smile. Say, everyone smile at dad, dad smile at mom, just to vary up their gallery again. And they like that more of a little bit of a candid shot. So that's something we like to do too in those standing poses. Now on to the walking poses. We like to vary up our walking poses as well, just to give a variety. You can vary up walking poses by where you place everyone and by what you're having them do. So sometimes we'll put mom and dad in the middle, sometimes we'll do every other, depending on how many kids there are, but you can vary it up that way as well. In this first walking variation, you can see mom and dad are in the middle, and they're linking arms. We didn't have them hold hands down low, we just had them link arms, and they're going to walk nice and slow towards the camera. In the second walking variation, this family is holding hands down low. So there's just that little bit of variation again. And again, mom and dad are in the middle. We could have put kids in the middle here to vary it up as well. So you could do the same pose, the holding hands down low, and vary it up and put the kids in the middle. Just more variety there. Now this next walking variation, walk variation number 3, you can see that they are not holding hands, they're just walking very casually, which really gives a really fun look. And notice they're looking at each other. So with all of these walking poses that we've shown you now, you can have them vary it up by where they look. Say, let's look at the camera and smile as you're walking this time. And then let's try it again. This time you're gonna look at somebody else and smile. And then as they're walking towards you, okay, now look at somebody else. And you're gonna get a variety of images, just changing that little bit to your instructions. Now with any of the poses we've talked about so far, you can also vary up something else. You can vary up the angle you're shooting at. So you can see here in this image, they're walking, looking at each other, but we're not shooting straight on. We went off to the side and we just had them walk the same direction, but now we're shooting at a different angle. This is going to give them, again, variety in their gallery. And again, like I said before, you can vary up where they look. So this family here is looking at each other and smiling as they're walking. Before that, we probably had them walk straight to us, looking at the camera for a more traditional look. Now, this next image here is just us saying, let's have some fun with it. This family's a little bit larger. Let's give some piggyback rides. So just doing something a little bit fun, but still you're doing that walking pose. They're looking at each other. It's just more of a candid look. So this is something we'll throw in every now and then to give a little more variety as well. All right, comment down below right now and let us know, how long have you been doing photography for? Whether it being just on your own, just of your kids, or have you been or doing it as a business? How long have you been shooting for? We have been in business for about 6 years. Okay, back to even another walking pose. This one here, we put mom and dad up front and the kids are just casually walking behind. This gives a very casual look. Have mom and dad look at you, have mom and dad look at each other, have the kids look at each other, whatever it might be, you can really vary things up just in the little tiniest ways. Now, after we've done the walking poses, the standing poses, we move into some sitting poses. And there's a couple different ways you can do sitting poses. Let's look at a couple that we like to do. So in this first one, we always have mom and dad sit first and get them looking nice and comfortable. And here we put the kids kind of behind them, around them, just to kind of keep them all close together. So having the kids kneel behind is really nice, especially with the older kids. Now in variation number 2 of sitting, we put them into a straight line, which just gives a totally different variety of images for them. And then again, you can see here, they are looking at each other. We obviously had them look at the camera as well. So lots of variety that they're going to get just in the littlest tweaks. Now, typically, once we've done all of that, we move into breakouts. So maybe we do mom with the kids, or we do mom and dad alone, or we do all of the kids together, kids individual. We do all of that as well after we've done the full family. Could you do it in a different order? Absolutely. It does not really matter, but that's typically what we do. So here you can see we have on the left, mom with all of her daughters, and then on the right is just all of the kids. So and you can give a variety within those too. So with just the all kids picture, we could have them stand, we could have them sit, we could have them walk. It kind of depends on what mom and dad want for their family pictures as well. Now, let's say you're 10 minutes into the session and you've done all of that. You've done the breakouts, you've done all of the sitting, standing, walking, because you're just super efficient. What can you do to provide them even more variety? Instead of thinking of new pose ideas, we will move to a different location. And it doesn't have to be, we just shot in a field, now we're gonna go downtown. No, nothing like that. We're gonna move to a different location at wherever we're at. So let's say we're in an open field. We're gonna maybe move from this little area over here to now something that's just a touch different over here. And we're gonna repeat some of those poses just to give them a little bit different look. Okay, so we hope that that was helpful, that gave you some good tips and tricks and pose ideas to do with families with older children. I know that can be a struggle sometimes, running out of ideas, but just varying it up in the slightest ways. But now, if you're still a little bit stressed about family sessions in general, we have a free download for you in the description below, and it's all about posing families and specific planning ideas that you can put in place for your next session. So take a look at that, and hopefully it'll help you at your next session. So what is one tip overall, or one pose idea overall, that we talked about today, or I talked about today, Erin's not here, that I talked about today that is going to be something you put into place at your next family session? Let us know in the comments below. So again, make sure to get your hands on that special download that we've created for you. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button so we know to make more videos just like this one. And if you don't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram at esquared.photography for even more behind the scenes footage of us at sessions. And we will see you next time.